Yo, what's good? We're here. We are back, continuing our series, Draft Diaries. No need to waste any time. Today we're talking on the 2019 draft class. In particular, we had one client, our guy Byron Cowart. Okay, so Big B was a defensive lineman out of Maryland. I've known Byron since he was 14. My dad has played a prominent role in Byron's life. Byron has overcome a lot, and it was just a pure pleasure to be able to work with Byron. Even just going through his recruiting process, one thing that Byron continues to speak on when I just ask him, what was the mindset of other agents? What was their approach? And why did you sign us out or choose to sign with us outside of the relationship that he had with our family? And one thing Byron continues to say that I think is a theme with most of these agencies is Byron felt like a piece of meat. A lot of these agents, whenever they talk to him, they're just asking like, are you healthy? Or, just ball questions, not talking to him about life, about his mom, about his journey, his vision. It was basically just like, an auction. How are you doing physically? Are you capable? Talking about his game, ball, film, but nothing tapping into who Byron was, the man, the young man, and the man that he has become. Like, it's incredible seeing his journey. And so something, I know we will have some aspiring agents, develop a real relationship with these guys. I won't say no one, because some do, but the guys that we recruit, we have a true, genuine friendship. And the guys that we recruit as well, they're not going to sign with an agent that only sees them as a football player and nothing else. So just a tidbit I want to throw in. So when it came to the draft with Byron, we kind of knew, okay, these were the 7-8 teams that are very interested in him. So as we've seen in our previous episodes, that with Leon, I didn't really know anything. With Jordan, started to really develop an approach. And now with Byron, we've just seen like a constant progression of our approach, as well as just the type of player that he was. Byron was our first client to go to the Senior Bowl, for example. So that was an added experience. Byron also went to the Combine, and he had a wide variety of teams reaching out to work him out, as well as visits. And so just taking everything in, the teams that are spending time with him, looking at draft needs, who needs someone of his caliber, and just things of that sort. There were really like 5 teams, I would say. There were the Bears, the Texans, the Patriots, the Ravens, and the Jets. Those were like the 5 that going into draft weekend that we knew, like we kind of knew Byron, you never really know, I guess, but had a good feeling that Byron was going to get drafted. And if so, it was going to be by one of these 5 teams. They all worked him out. They all had multiple interviews with him, all really spent some time with him. And so we kind of knew like these are the 5, okay? So something I have not talked about before in our Draft Diaries series is the approach as an agent, because I don't want it to slip by. Like, you can have influence. It's minute, it's small, but it can be impactful. And so what teams will do around this time of year is they will start asking, like, what are you hearing from other teams? What do you think is going to happen? And for Byron, just because we knew, and even looking at the draft picks, okay, so we knew that teams had Byron kind of slotted anywhere from 4th through 6th round. And so in particular, the 5th round, and you can go back and look at this, in the 5th round that year, in the 2019 draft, there was like a set of like 10 to 12 picks that all 5 of these teams had a draft slot in. And so whenever I was talking with the Jets or talking with the Ravens or talking to the Patriots, they're asking me like, who is interested, or like, where do you think it's going to go? I would be sure to mention that we think by this slot, by the end of this slot, we think he's going to be gone, just because of just the way the draft was unfolding. And so as you kind of get to that Saturday, now I talked previously about not watching the draft with your client. I learned from the previous year. Me and our team, like Lydia was there, my dad was there, a few other individuals were there. We watched it at this restaurant. Byron, who grew up really without his dad, Byron spent the whole time watching it with his mom. Shout out to Coco. Like, Byron's mom, true warrior. Like, she just like a true leader. It's amazing to be able to see how she has raised Byron to become the man that he is. And so Byron was basically like, look, I want to enjoy this moment with my mom. Nobody else, no cameras, no video recorders, nothing, which I respected, And so we were at this restaurant. And basically, like, Byron's process was very straightforward, and you'll see on this video, like, we kind of knew, okay, this is the range, had a really good feeling. Now it's just about wait and see. When you get to draft weekend, y'all, like, there's really nothing you can do in regards to the team actually drafting your guy. You can send out a few texts, If teams start talking about free agency, you can let them know, like, hey, if y'all don't draft him, he's not going there. But if a team's gonna pull the card, they're gonna pull the card. That's just the reality of the situation. And so going into that Saturday, again, we had a really good feeling, and you're just waiting. It is the longest, most drawn out process. I still don't understand why teams need to take 10 minutes. Like, have y'all never done a fantasy football draft? Like, literally, you got 60 seconds on the clock, okay, and you boom, boom, boom. But I understand it's different, so maybe that's a poor analogy. But regardless, it's very long, very drawn out. And so, again, you're just really sitting there. And again, we'll drop the visuals so y'all can see it. So with Byron, basically what happened is when we came up, there's, like I said, we got to the 5th round. Okay, so it didn't go in the 4th, we got to the 5th round. And the set of picks that I was talking about was about to come up. It was the same 5 teams, all had picks that were about to come up. And so I had a good feeling that it was going to be one of them. You don't know who, you don't know if that's really going to happen, but I'm like, you know, you kind of just got this gut feeling like it's going to be within this like next 10 picks right here. And I will never forget, we're sitting there and Byron FaceTimes me. He FaceTimes me and he's basically like, this is it. And I might be paraphrasing, but I'll show y'all the visuals so y'all can watch it. But he FaceTimes me and he's like, this is it. Like, we up with it, okay? And all I remember is when Byron comes up on the screen that he is drafted by New England, his mom loses it. Like, oh my God, like, woo! You know, and again, there's nothing more rewarding. You know, you're not getting paid at this moment. You're not getting anything tangible at this moment. It's, you feel spiritually the joy. You feel Coco's enthusiasm, all the hard work that she's paid in, the multiple jobs that she's worked to support Byron, the grind that Byron has gone through. You know, coming out of high school, #1 player in the country, he goes to Auburn, looked down upon, has to get his appendix taken out, transfers to a community college to take care of his mom, flies up to Maryland, only spends like 6 months there, goes through the pre-draft process, pulls his quad, overcomes homelessness. Like, let's not forget that, overcomes the fact that his dad's in prison. And then you get to this moment and you're able to celebrate him. You're able to just see the smile on his face. You know what I'm saying? And then when you just see it actually come on the screen, because he didn't tell us who it was, you see it come on the screen, and I just, like, y'all can see it, I just couldn't control it because you're just so excited. I'm like, we in New England with it. We in Boston with it. You know what I'm saying? And Liv's from Boston. Like, my wife is from Boston. And so there's that added bonus, and it's just like everything was just great. Like, all goodness. Again, you just feel God's presence throughout this all. Byron didn't have to sign with us. Byron had a lot of big agencies that were reaching out to him. But these seeds that were planted when he was, 14, 15, Byron went to the exact same high school I went to. Feel me? I remember watching Byron's last high school game, state championship game. I'm there, I'm watching him. And so to be able to see just everything add up to this moment, there's no substitution. There is no replacing that joy that you have. And for me, it's just very grateful that I was able to experience that with him. I end up calling him after. He comes over, to the restaurant that we're at. We pop the champagne, drink a little bit, celebrating, whoop-de-whoop, all the things. My dad gives a speech, and we're talking to Byron. He does an interview with New England's media team. And it's just to be in that moment and say again that, okay, Leon gets drafted, feels like a fluke. Jordan gets drafted, gives me affirmation, okay, I belong. 3rd year in a row, you have someone gets drafted. Now, to me, there's no more questions asked. Like, it doesn't matter who comes with GSA, like, we can get it done. We can make it happen. And it was, again, just that further affirmation, further confirmation. I belong here. I can do this. And it was nothing that I did outside of just taking care of my own responsibility. We won't go too far in the pre-draft process, but 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 1 is 3. You put one foot in front of the other continuously, you are going to get to where you are trying to get to. And for Byron, for me, it was nothing more than that. It was nothing more than being the helping hand for him, being a shoulder for him to lean on. And when you get to this process, he took care of business. He's the one that went to the Senior Bowl and showed out. He the one went to the combine. He's the one that when he spent this time with New England Patriots, he actually worked out for them. So he was the first player that we had that got drafted that we were like, okay, the place that he actually ended up was a place that we thought he could end up. And so very different experiences than the ones in the past. But again, we signed one player, we had one player get drafted. We went 1 for 1 the second time around, like the back-to-back years, 1 for 1. You know, 3rd year in a row with the draft pick. At this point, I'm 26. I don't know if that's happened before. It could have. I don't know if so. It's rare. And so again, for me, just that again, further affirmation, just grateful that God put me in the position to be of service to Byron and to be able to celebrate that moment with him. Very straightforward. I think if you are able to watch these visuals, it'll just be able to tell you a lot more about just this whole situation than I could. Just, very grateful for B, and just now Byron's a starting defensive tackle for New England. He's going into year 3. He has some competition for playing time this year, but his mindset where he is right now, like he's ready to go. Don't be surprised if Byron really becomes a key cog, not only for the defense, but someone that really makes an impact and ripple effect across the league. Like, don't be surprised if we're watching this 2021 season and you scroll on Twitter and Byron Cowart becomes a key figure for the New England Patriots just because his mindset is ready, even on the marketing side. Throughout the pre-draft process, like Byron was like, look, I don't want to do nothing. He said, I don't want to do anything. And now you fast forward 2.5 some years or 3 years really, and now Byron, is it 2 years? Yeah, I guess you fast forward 2 years, 2019, 2021. Yeah, fast forward 2 years. And now Byron, dang, that's all it's been. Wow. But Byron is now taking steps to where he wants to be an impact figure. He wants to be someone that can influence the world and create change in the world. Just look at his Instagram, at I am Byron Cowart. And so again, just very grateful to be able to be a part of this journey. One thing I will say with Byron that we are starting to do and that he allowed us to do is even just having an actual videographer to create draft content. This is something that I am confused why more agencies are not doing it, why more draft prospects are not doing it. And again, y'all watch this video, like this was the first official draft project video for Grady Media. And if you watch this, like why are more people not doing something of this nature? I don't understand, but that is what it is. And so again, just very grateful. I know I'm kind of saying the same things over and over, but it's just a moment that again, I won't forget. Contrary to Leon and Jordan, I don't have anything to show you all because Byron, if you watch this, still don't have a jersey. I don't have, I got a training card. I don't know if it's up here. But Byron, I need something tangible, okay, so that I can go up here, just FYI. But that's all I got. Subscribe to the YouTube. Hopefully this provided some sort of value. Draft Diaries will continue the theme, but more importantly, watch this video here, okay, because it'll just be able to show you guys the joy in the moment, the excitement, everything, the thrill, the jubilance. And so that's all I got. Subscribe to the channel if you got some value from this. Joshua Grady, Agent Talk Podcast, all things Agent Grady, GSA, Grady Media. We here, we out.
Got day 3, back at it again. I'm feeling good. Really just a waiting game. Now, we got rounds 4 through 7. I kind of expect Byron to go in the first half of the day. So we're excited. We just chilling, sitting by the phone, working the phone, seeing what's good, trying to see, what the linemen, where they go. But we're excited, we're ecstatic. It's that day. Today's the final day. So we just waiting for it. We'll see what happens. But God got it, so we'll see.
Put a Richard on the card. I ain't going playing ball, but I'll show you how to gotta do it. If you really wanna fall till you fall when you're back against the wall, and a bunch of need you to go away.
Let's go! Let's go! Hey, I'm happy for you, boy. Nah, it's coming up. It's about to come up. It's about to come up. Oh, you ain't watching, bro? You ain't watching? Hey, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you, bro. It's about to come up. Make sure you tune in, bro. I hear your mama hollering in the background. It came up yet for you? What pick they on? Or what they showing? We ain't there yet. But you see it? You see it? We almost there. It's about to pop up for us right now. We a little behind. Hold on, Eric.
Pick of the 2009 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Byron Cowart.
There it goes. There it goes. We're in Boston with it. We're in Boston with it, baby. Hey, listen. Super Bowl champs. We coming to get a ring. We coming to get a ring, man. Y'all see it? There he is. There you go. There you go. Hey, I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you, bro. Hey, what you? All right, pull up. I'll send it to you right now. All right, bro. You always want to smile, bro. Yeah, boy. Sweating. Hell yeah, let's play.
Congratulations, man. That's so awesome. I'm so proud of you. Cool, huh?
We heard a lot about you. Coaches talk good about you, so he's like, yeah, you're a Patriot. Thank you for the opportunity.
Really, man, it's been a long time coming. You know, this ain't been a 4 to 5 month process for you. It's been 4 to 5 years. You know what I mean? This was destined, something that God had written. So just kudos to you, bro. You know, sticking through that adversity, man. Cheers to you.
Cheers. Cheers.